There's no judgment. Hello from Bangalore, my name is Ivana, and in case you've never seen a video of mine, I'm a travel vlogger, but sometimes I also talk about personal stuff like I'm going to do today. Before we get into this video, please, if you're not yet subscribed, make sure to click the subscribe button for my channel and also the little bell icon so you get the notifications whenever there's a new video. It's even in the frequently asked questions down in the description below. But I've never really got into it and told the whole story about how I became vegetarian and those kind of things. So I thought, you know what? It's time to do that. Before we get into this video, I need to make a disclaimer. Anything and everything I talk about in this video is about me and my personal opinion and the way I live my life. It is in no way a judgment about your life or what you want to eat or the things that you want to do. Take that into account while you're listening to my story. There's no judgment. If you want to eat meat, go ahead. Nobody's stopping you. Let's start with the most asked question ever, because people really don't expect this. Why are you vegetarian? The really short and sweet and simple answer is that I hate the texture and the taste of meat, any kind of meat. During the years that I've been a vegetarian, I've also developed a secondary reason, but it's still not my primary reason because I really hate the taste of meat. And that's animal cruelty and preventing that as much as possible. But yeah, my primary reason will always be that I just don't like the taste of meat. Very simple. Well, it took me literally 15 years. Let's start at the beginning. I was born in former Yugoslavia. Meat over there is a daily staple with basically breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So that's how me and my brother were raised. We used to eat meat. It was very normal for us. But when we moved to the Netherlands, my mom did used to stock up more and more on vegetarian options just because they tasted good. But we were never told really about being vegetarian or anything like that. However, in my best friend Nadine's household, her mom always cooked vegetarian food. And this was my first acquaintance with vegetarian food, which was absolutely amazing because her mom is still one of the best chefs I know until today. And her food was just so good. So the older I got, I started cutting more and more meats out. It started with cold cuts. Suddenly I couldn't handle the texture, I couldn't handle the flavor. Then I cut out pork because I learned that it's quite bad for your skin and my body really liked that. Then I cut out beef and lamb. I did eat McDonald's burgers maybe like 3 or 4 times a year whenever I felt like it. But I stopped even buying chicken from the moment that I started living with my first boyfriend. I was just like, I don't want to eat this anymore. If we go out to dinner and it's on the menu and I feel like eating it, then I will eat it, but I don't want to buy this anymore because I genuinely I was just disgusted by the texture of meat and preparing it. I think I started thinking about meat more in a way where I feel that there is no difference between human meat and animal meat. It's both like muscles and joints, and just thinking about it makes me want to puke. So at one point I just couldn't distinguish that anymore from eating human meat, which for me is a disgusting idea. So then eating animal meat became a disgusting idea for me too. I always kept eating fish because I don't know, somehow that was different, because also the texture of fish is different than regular meat. And then in October 2015, I did a yoga teacher training where we ate fully vegetarian. And obviously I learned more about yoga philosophy and about, killing other living beings. I just stopped eating fish. Nothing, no forcing myself or anything. I just couldn't stand the idea of eating fish anymore. And I also stopped eating boiled, cooked, and fried eggs. Basically any eggs that I can see and I can taste the texture and everything, I can't eat it anymore. Which brings me to my next question. Have I ever tried meat again after becoming vegetarian? The answer to that question is yes, because the thing is, I never forced myself to become vegetarian because you know, of animal abuse. Obviously, that's a very valid reason to become a vegetarian, but that was never my primary reason. So sometimes I would be like, oh, that chicken looks really good. Let me have a bite. And then like literally the moment I would put it in my mouth, I would spit it out and I would be like, nah, I just can't handle that idea. Just recently, one of my orders, my food orders got messed up. I ordered a vegetarian meal, but somehow when it arrived, the stuff that was on top really looked like chicken. And then I called a restaurant and I asked them, like, is this chicken? They're like, no, it's a veg dish, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, let me try this, because I was in a hurry and I was really, really hungry. So it's a no-go. I started chewing on one piece and it was like, I almost started throwing up. I was like, I can't handle this texture. I can't handle this flavor. Fun fact, in the Netherlands, you have fake chicken meat, which tastes so real that I, at one point, stopped buying it because it was just too real for me. That's how big my disgust is for the texture and the flavor of meat. It's just, I can't handle it. Some people are also wondering like how strict of a vegetarian I am. Well, the thing is, I'm not a strict vegetarian because for me, primarily the taste and the texture of meat is problematic. But if there is, for instance, gelatin in a candy or eggs are, you know, mixed in a cake where I can't taste like the eggy flavor, for me, that's not a problem. Maybe in the future it will be, because, you know, my conscience about animal cruelty is definitely growing. Also throughout the years, it's becoming a secondary reason why I don't, you know, like eating animal products. But everything with time. I never restrict myself. I don't force myself to do things. So, you know, we'll see in the future. If you ask me if I have any recommendations, you know, to become vegetarian, because nowadays it's becoming, you know, more and more popular to eat less meat, I would say never force yourself, because I don't believe in forcing yourself. Maybe you want to start with like 1 day a week not eating meat, or maybe you want to cut out a certain type of meat like I did with the cold cuts, and then after that with the pork and stuff like that. Just take it easy. It took me 15 years. Like, there's no rush. So that would be my biggest tip. Also, don't let other people force you to eat meat if you don't want that, because social pressure can be such a big thing. I know when a lot of my friends weren't vegetarian, nowadays a lot of them are vegetarian. Some of them would be like, just try a little piece, it tastes so good, blah, blah. And I would be like, nah. And maybe that's because I really, really hate the flavor and the texture. But even if you do it for animal reasons, that's your primary reason, don't let other people force you to eat something that you don't want to eat. If you guys have any other questions, let me know down in the comments below. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and maybe it was also helpful. If you did, put a thumbs up. And if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, click that subscribe button, because then I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!